Alright, so this is my Cosmic Witch deck, or Witch deck. I'm going to make a couple of them, but currently this is my Vanguard Comet Witch Manisa, and her legion is, her mate is Comet Witch Server 10k for them. Alright, so yeah, Goat Witch Maeve, so the stand trigger. Dark Shield Mark Lear. Well, I'm saying it wrong. Dark Shield Mac Lear. There you go. Dark Shield Mac Lear. Perfect Guard. I prefer a Perfect Guard to Quantum Wall. Quantum Wall is cool. I like it. I'm not against it. But the reason why I block attacks is so that way my deck doesn't get hit, you know what I mean? Because when you take damage, you take the top card of your deck and put it into your damage zone. I'm trying to draw into something, so the only real reason I'm blocking, other than the fact that I don't want to lose the game, you know, by taking damage obviously, is I'm trying to draw the next card. And I'm hoping the next card is what I need. Or if the next card, if the next couple cards, for example, will be a trigger. If the next card I'm going to draw, let's say it's a grade 3, that's cool, grade 3. Then the card after that is a stand trigger, for example. Then I don't want to take damage, put the grade 3 in my damage zone, and then on my turn draw the stand trigger. I'd rather draw the grade 3, ride it, of course, attack, twin drive. Oh shit, a stand trigger. Stand my monsters up, one of my rear guards, and attack, and you know, potentially win the duel, which is why I would block. So I wouldn't want to take the top 5 cards of my deck, right, and throw them into the guard zone just to block an attack when I could just use a Perfect Guard. Again, not against the Quantum Wall. I like it. It's a cool concept. I wish I could have it with the Perfect Guards. I wish I could have both in the deck, but you can only choose one or the other, or use 2. You know, you can only have 4 Sential cards in your deck maximum, so that sucks. All right. Anyway, Perfect Guard is what I go with. Hopefully they'll make a Witch Perfect Guard. They need more Witch stand triggers, because I like stand triggers, and there was only one Witch stand trigger, so I had to substitute by grabbing some other Shadow Paladin stand triggers, like Revenger Waking Angel stand trigger, Dark Side Trumpeter stand trigger, Awaking Revenger stand trigger. As you can see, I use 4 copies of each card. Witch of Precious Stone Dana, Auto Soul Blast. When this unit is placed into the rear guard circle, if you have a Vanguard with Witch in its card name, and this is a Witch deck obviously, you may pay the cost, which is to Soul Blast 1. If you do, choose one of your opponent's occupied rear guard circles, rear circles, and your opponent chooses one of their grade 0s from his or her drop zone and calls it to that rear guard circle. So you're obviously replacing, like let's say they have a grade 2 in their front rear guard. Well, you send that grade 2 to graveyard and they put a grade 0 from the graveyard onto the field, and now you don't have to worry about them intercepting, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. Plus, a grade 0 will probably be low power anyway. It won't be much of a threat in your opponent's following turn. And if they're going to, you know, they will have to get rid of that grade 0 and summon another monster, which is one less card in their hand. So it's just great in general. It's just as good as locking, maybe even better. I like it, which is why I'm making the Witch deck, because I like that mechanic to replace. Alright, I got Witch of Nostrum, Aryan Rod, active Vanguard circle or rear guard circle. Rest this unit, choose a card from your hand, discard it, draw a card. So that's pretty generic. You never know, you might have something in your hand you don't want, get rid of it, draw a card, obviously. Comet Witch Server, size 2, no, grade 2, 10k Valena, can't go wrong with that. And she's part of the Legion mate combo. Moonlight Witch Vaha. I like the artwork, so I really wanted to make sure I could put her in the deck. And she's 9k, and she has a auto Vanguard or rear guard, Soul Blast 2. When this unit attack hits, if you have a Shadow Paladin Vanguard, you may pay the cost if you do draw a card. So, good thing is you can use her. Well, she's a Vanguard, because obviously she would be a Shadow Paladin Vanguard, obviously. So you can use her as a Vanguard, attack, Soul Blast 2 to draw 1 card. And that's when her attack hits, of course. It's always good to have to draw, you know what I mean, get that hand advantage. Inspection Witch Deirdre, grade 2, auto Soul Blast 1. When this unit is placed on the rearguard circle, if you have a Vanguard with Witch in its card name, you may pay the cost of Soul Blasting 1. If you do, choose one of your opponent's occupied rearguard circles. Your opponent chooses 1 grade 0 card from his or her drop zone and calls it to that rearguard circle. Again, you know, they're grade 0 lock, I guess, mechanic. So that's another monster that lets you do it. Skull Witch Namine, mainly because I like her artwork. She's a 3k grade 2, and it's like, that's not that strong. That's not a good attack power for a grade 2, but she has to make up for it somehow, right? And she looks awesome. So she has auto Counter Blast 1, choose a Shadow Paladin from your hand and discard it. When this unit is placed on the rear guard circle, if you have a Shadow Paladin Vanguard, you pay that cost of, you know, Soul Blasting 1 and choosing and discarding a Shadow Paladin card from your hand. You draw 2 cards. So for that weak power, she had to make up for it with card advantage. Especially something you might do is you'll summon her to activate her power, right? Her effect, draw 2 cards, and then you draw something stronger. Like, let's say you draw and you get Comet Witch Server, then you'll just retire Skull Witch and summon Comet Witch Server, which is a much more powerful card. My grade 3, 10k, Comet Witch Manisa, auto Vanguard Circle, Legion 20,000, Comet Witch Server. Obviously you Legion by, if your opponent has a grade 3 or greater Vanguard, only once this unit may return 4 cards from your drop zone to your deck and search for your deck for the specific card and perform Legion, which the monster you will grab is Comet Witch Server, which is her Legion mate, and then perform Legion. She has an auto Vanguard Circle effect. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, if this unit is in Legion, as in basically Legion mode, this unit gets 5,000 power until the end of that battle. So that's good. So you'll be a 25k when you're attacking a Vanguard when she's Legion. And then she has auto rear guard circle effect. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, this unit gets power 2,000 until the end of that battle. I wish it was into end of turn would be better, but into end of the battle is not bad. And that doesn't require her to be Legion. It's her secondary effect that requires her to be Legion. But typically you would try to go Legion anyway, so it's not a big deal. But as a rear guard, 12k attacking Vanguard, rear guard is not bad. That free boost, and then you boost and bumper beyond 12k. And Of course, my starter, I use 2 copies of it. One's to start with, and then one's for late game use, of course. Plus, it has a 10k shield. Can't argue with that. More 10k shield, yeah. Anyway, Witch of Banquets Lear, auto Forerunner, of course. When you ride a Shadow Paladin on top of her, you move her to you call her to a rearguard circle. She has auto rearguard circle effect. When this unit, put this unit into your soul, basically soul charge. When a attack hits a Vanguard during the battle that this unit boosted, if you have a Vanguard that is Legion, you pay the cost, which is to put her into the soul. If you do, search your deck for up to 2 grade 0 cards. Call them to separate rearguard circles as rest and shuffle your deck. So that's not bad, because you'll get the boost obviously. Then you'll soul charge, and then if you have 2 really good, it's mainly good when you have 2 vacant rearguard circles, so you can fill up your grave, your field up with more monsters. So you just summon them and then shuffle your deck. So one, it thins out your deck, which is never a bad thing, you know what I mean? I would use her effect to get my 2nd copy, so I would use Witch Banquet Lear's effect to get me another Banquet Lear, and any maybe Goat Witch Maeve, or Maeve, yeah. Summon them into my rearguard circles, into the rear, not the front rear, the rear, of course. And then, you know, when I use Witch of Banquet Lear's, the 2nd copy's effect, you know, I pretty much get the same results. So it's just a good way of thinning out the deck, because I'll use Lear to get a Lear and any grade 0, and then use that new Lear next turn to get me 2 more grade 0s, and I can use them just for boosting. It's just a way of filling up the field, especially if I'm low on cards, especially if I don't want to use some cards in my hands to fill up the field in case I just want to guard with them. Then she comes in handy for that. It's a decent effect, can't argue with that. Mainly, you know, you'll just use her for her Forerunner ability, just as a 5k boost, but can't go wrong with basically summoning 2 more 5k boosters onto the field, right? Or mathematically summoning about 3 in 2 following turns, right? Anyway, and that's the end of the deck profile for my Comet, Witch, Manisa, Witch deck profile.